YouTube was good. It's your boy, Paul Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, if this is your first time tuning in, go ahead, hit the dog subscribe button, hit the doggone notification bell every time I post up new content. I can't do nothing but laugh at this one, right? And for the most part, I hate to sound like old broke ass record, but here's the thing, people, right? And I said this in the last show that I did, right? Hold on, I'm trying to. As ridiculous, y'all gonna have to excuse me. I'm trying to get right here. So I'm usually already squared away, but I really couldn't help with this one. But like I said in the last one, right? As ridiculous as some things may sound, there comes a time of desperation when no one's looking that you will give the ridiculous a try, right? I say all that to say this, people, because apparently this whole Dane Calloway and Judge Joe Brown thing is the new hotness, the fresh new pile of shit, if you will. And here come all of the flies, right? They want to come in and land in the shit, right? And I'm not gonna be as long as everybody else because what I'm gonna tell y'all is gonna make a lot of sense. Matter of fact, if you just pay attention to the title, right? Y'all already know that the crazy uncle finna go in, right? Because now, and the out of the few clips that I did watch, right, and with some of the comments, we already know who Judge Hollyweird Joe Brown is. That's why I put Hollyweird in the title, right? Because here's a man, right, that has studied the system of law, so-called law, right? Made his money, then he took his act to Hollyweird, where he is now a dog, where he was a TV court judge, right? So I was watching another YouTube channel, and the whole thing about Dane Calloway came up, right? And then um, another thing come up, like what they was talking about. I guess apparently what President Trump did, you know, and so he was against that or whatever. But the question was asked, right? Should Columbus Day be replaced by Indigenous Day, right? Well, see, a lot of y'all don't even know what Columbus Day is, right? Y'all thinking, okay, he's the guy that discovered America, right? Now, throughout the course of time, they've actually really just came out and said, well, no, Columbus wasn't the first to discover America, right? But here's the deal, people. How many of y'all, how many of y'all know about the DOD? And when I talk about DOD, I'm not talking about Department of Defense. I'm talking about the doctrine of discovery. And if you and again, see, this is why I keep sounding like old broke ass records because I did a show on this. I want to say 2 years ago, right? And I titled it Christopher Columbus and the DOD. meaning doctrine of discovery. So basically, what that was back then, right? Yeah, they already knew that it were people over here in what is now called the United States. But considering where they were from, which I think over there, I forget Great Britain or wherever that they felt was like the capital of the world, right? And a law was passed, right, that said, okay, if you don't follow this doctrine, right, then we do not recognize you as a group of people. Therefore, guess what? Your ass just got discovered. You know, it's always been about paperwork with people, right? They people, they always feel like, okay, well, hey, as long as I got some paper on your ass, yeah, that's what it is. Now, that's one thing that ain't nobody actually really talking about. The second thing, what everybody ain't talking about, right? And again, if you go look at the title, look at how I got the title of this show. Dane Calloway versus Judge Hollyweird, and I got it in parentheses, Joe Brown. Because I just told you, here's a man that has learned the system. Brent was a judge, took his act to Hollyweird, got his bullshit money. Now he actually really wants to go against the grain, so to speak. And that's what a lot of people ain't talking about, right? Here it is, like I said. And then a lot of people, they want to clown Dane Calloway. But then again, if you just really pay attention to what he said, hey, guess what? I'm just here to make you think, right? Well, apparently that's what a lot of people are doing now. They thinking. Some of them ain't liking. A lot of people ain't liking what they seeing. A lot of people ain't liking what they hearing, right? It's almost like somebody that poured hot water on your ass and you running around like a little scalded dog, right? And so just know that Judge Joe Brown, Judge Hollyweird Joe Brown, is one of those that's running around like a old scalded dog, right? Because like I said, I saw one of the clips and Dane was like in that ass, like an archaeologist, really digging for shit, right? And he was the judge, a judge now. Now, they're like, and here's another thing too. You would think that a judge would actually really go back and actually do some research a lot of this stuff and actually really come back and say, you know what? This guy here, he right. He right. You know? But just like with everything else, people, let's actually really take this for what it actually really is. Right? Now, I could sit up here and tell you that, hey, look, you the whole deal is that, hey, Dane Collins would say, hey, look, I'm just here to make you think. Right? But then when you actually really stop and look at that aspect, right? Okay, what okay, what's the premises here? What is it actually like? What he's actually really trying to say? At least this is what a lot of people are actually really gonna come at, right? But again, I just look at this. I look at this, and I'm just like, Judge Joe Brown, really? I mean, here it is that you talking about somebody that is so deep within the system, the criminal system, right? Because it's just like what I've always said, or a person with a whole lot of sense once told me, he said, boy, anytime when a government is built by the criminal, ran by the criminal, who the fuck you think is going to benefit? The goddamn criminal, right? Now, am I calling Judge Hollyweird Brown a criminal? No, I'm not. But at the same time, he just followed the guidelines that the criminal set up for his ass to act like really go against of what the fuck you really are. Yeah, your ass been brainwashed. Your ass been brainwashed years ago, and then it's just for the simple fact, considering how old Judge Joe Brown is, right? He talking about that his great grandfather came off the boat. And so Dane Calloway said, okay, what boat are you talking about here? Right? But then again, I look at it like this. I didn't get it, now, great the fact I'm not as old as Judge Joe Brown, right? But my great grandmother never talked about slavery, right? They didn't come off of no doggone boat. They was already here in Arkansas. So wherever the fuck the Judge Hollywood Brown is talking about, again, he's still trying to keep that money in his pocket, because the first time that he acts like really, truly, honestly go against the grain, you already know that the powers that be, or the powers that shouldn't be, gonna snatch all that money out of his doggone bank account. And he gonna be out there in the street. And so it's just for the simple fact, let's really look at this. Dane Calloway versus this guy. Right? I know that Dane Calloway, he didn't call out a lot of people. He wanted to debate a lot of people. Right? But I just look at it like this. To be perfectly honest with you, what is the debate about? What is it that you really think that you're trying to accomplish here? Right? Personally, I actually really think, I truly, honestly think that it's a hell of a lot deeper. Again, I'm gonna say this again. It's a hell of a lot deeper than a lot of people are actually really scared to actually really talk about. Now, I went on another YouTube channel, right? And they was actually like really talking about the same thing, right? About the whole Masonic order and this, that, the third. And then him being a part of the Black Boule, right? Which, if you actually really stop and go and look at who he actually really falls under, right? As far as like the Boule is concerned, just that note that him and Dr. King fall under the same fraternity, right? Now, put it like this: I'm not gonna sit up here and put anybody on blast, right? But all what I'm saying is that when when you want that fame, you want that bullshit money, right? Then just know this: you will sell your soul to the devil, right? And kill your mama in the process. So this whole thing is, y'all really, it's just like what old boy said in Half Baked. I think it's a lot more complex than that. And y'all already know that, like say, and understand what happened to Killer, you got to know who Killer the dog was, right? So the reason why Judge Joe Brown is all up in the air right now, you got to be like, and understand Judge Joe Brown, you got to understand what he once was and probably still is. But ain't nobody talking about that. And I know y'all probably saying, well, what the fuck are you talking about? All the hell I'm telling y'all is this, right? Somebody, again, throwing heat or blowing smoke, right? To get to the real agenda. This ain't nothing more than a motherfucking an attention getter. When they got everybody watching the right hand, when you should be paying attention to the left hand. Beware of the hand when it's coming from the left. So it is what it is, people. You know, I just thought I had to get that little piece out the way, right? Just know this, you know. I mean, I'm not here to actually. Well, I'm not gonna say that I'm not here to talk bad about anybody, but I'm just like this. Okay, what the fuck is the debate about? Like seriously, right? I mean, I get it, and I can believe in certain things, and then somebody come and be like, okay, they call bullshit on what I'm talking about, and then I actually really show you proof, right? And you still don't believe it, so I'm just like, okay, am I here to try to convert you over, or am I here to be or am I here to be converted over? That's all I'm gonna say about that one. So with that being said, hey, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dad, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door, cross street around the corner. Paulus Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Next time.